Snow was gently falling on Christmas Eve night. The air outside was cold, but within that chill, there was something that warmed the heart. All around the town, colorful lights sparkled brightly, and from a distance, the cheerful sounds of laughter and singing floated through the air. Soft light spilled from the windows of homes, and the flames in the fireplace flickered gently. Eric sat by the window, gazing out at the town. He was eagerly awaiting Santa Claus's visit, just like every year. Before long, Eric drifted into a deep sleep. Wrapped in a warm blanket, as soon as he closed his eyes, a feeling of excitement spread in his heart, like the sound of bells ringing in the distance. But that night, Eric's sleep was different from usual. He felt a strange sensation, as if beautiful music was drifting in from far away. When he opened his eyes, he found himself in. As soon as Eric opened his eyes, he realized he was standing in a place he had never seen before. Large snowflakes were floating in the air, and colorful lanterns lined the small village streets. The snow-covered path stretched endlessly, and there were no sounds of footsteps. At the center of the village stood a gigantic Christmas tree, towering proudly. Its branches were adorned with stars that shimmered brightly, and underneath the tree, gifts were piled high. Though overwhelmed by the sight, Eric felt a sense of calm, as if he had been destined to come to this place all along. Just then, a small rabbit hopped over to Eric. With its soft fur and ears standing straight up, the rabbit looked at him and smiled gently. "You've come to the dream world, haven't you?" the rabbit said. "This Christmas, I have an important task for you." Though surprised, Eric felt drawn to the rabbit and began walking toward it. The rabbit spoke softly but with certainty as it continued. "The tree has grown a little weak this year. Every year, the tree brings hope and happiness to the village, but this year, its power is not quite enough." Eric was taken aback. He had never imagined something like this could happen. But encouraged by the rabbit's words, Eric decided to accept the mission. Together with the rabbit, Eric began heading toward the outskirts of the village. As they walked, the town's lights slowly faded away, and the surrounding landscape gradually changed into a deep, mysterious forest. The forest was dark, with only the moonlight filtering through the branches. The wind whistled in Eric's ears, and the rustling of the leaves created a soft, whispering sound. Eric felt a little scared. But the rabbit turned around and smiled brightly. "There's no need to be afraid. Even in the darkness, there is always light. And I'm sure that light is inside your heart." As Eric's heart warmed little by little, a soft glow began to shine from his palms. Suddenly, the surroundings grew a little brighter, and the path through the forest became visible. At last, the magical ice door appeared. It was covered in cold wind and walls of ice, and no matter how hard Eric tried, it seemed impossible to open. Hesitant, Eric stretched out his hand toward the door. Then, something magical happened. Warm light flowed from his palm, and the ice slowly began to melt away. As the door opened, there stood the grand Christmas tree once again. This time, it shone even brighter, and its light spread over the entire village. Eric's eyes widened as he gazed at the sight. His heart was filled with a warm sense of gratitude, and a gentle light glowed within him. Your light has become the hope for everyone. Thank you. Eric closed his eyes, gradually being enveloped in peaceful sleep. The sound of the snow continuing to fall outside echoed faintly in the distance. But now, that sound didn't seem scary. It felt more like a comforting, gentle melody. Within Eric's heart, the warm light continued to shine. It was as if the entire world around him was wrapped in that light. His heart was filled with hope, and he felt the strength to believe in tomorrow. In his small chest, there was now the courage to face any challenge. It wasn't the magic of Christmas, it was the pure, strong light within him. So, let us remember, no matter how dark the night may seem, there is always light waiting on the other side. Even if we can't see it now, if we keep hope in our hearts, that light will one day find its way to us. And tonight, as you watch this story, know that just like Eric, you too have a shining light within your heart. Believe in the light of hope, and continue to hold on to kindness. I believe that within your heart, there is, one day, a light that will shine for someone else. Good night. Wishing you a wonderful Christmas. May the light of hope be with you.